So, you've filed your patent, and that 20-year countdown has officially begun. But what if I told you that clock actually started ticking the moment you filed, not the day your patent was granted? Yeah. Today, we're going to break down how all those little administrative delays can actually steal years of your patent's life, and, more importantly, how you can claim that super valuable time back.
So let's just get right to it, shall we? We all think a patent gives you 20 years of protection. But what most founders don't realize is that all the back and forth, the waiting, it can eat away at that time before you're even approved. So that 20-year promise, well, the reality can be quite a bit different.
Luckily, there's a safeguard built into the system for this exact problem. It's called Patent Term Adjustment, or PTA. Honestly, you can just think of it as a fairness rule. It's the U.S. Patent and Trademark Office's way of giving you back the time that you lost, just waiting for them. It's how the system tries to make sure your 20-year term isn't quietly chipped away by their own backlog.
Okay, let's talk about your patent's ticking clock and really get into why every single day of patent life is such a critical strategic asset for your business. Think about it this way. What would an extra 6 months or even a full year on your patent mean? It could mean millions in exclusive revenue, right? It directly boosts your company's valuation when you're fundraising, and it acts as this powerful shield against competitors while you're trying to scale. This is not just some boring legal detail. It's a core driver of your business's value. And for a startup, these benefits are absolutely huge. A longer term means more time with market exclusivity, which naturally boosts your valuation. That, in turn, gives you much stronger negotiation power if you're looking at an acquisition, and it gives investors the confidence they really need to back you. It proves you're not just building a product, you're building a defensible, long-term business. Okay, so how does the patent office actually calculate all this extra time? It really all comes down to 3 main categories of delays. They're conveniently known as A, B, and C delays. Let's decode what each of these means for you. First up, we have A delays. These are the most straightforward. See, the USPTO has its own deadlines to meet. For example, they have to send you their first piece of feedback, that's called an office action, within 14 months. For every single day they're late, you gain a day of PTA. The same thing happens if they take more than 4 months to get back to one of your responses. Next, we've got B delays, and these act as a really critical safety net. The law basically says that the entire examination process shouldn't take more than 3 years from start to finish. If it does, and it's the USPTO's fault, you get credit for every single day over that 3-year mark. This is something you see a lot with really complex inventions in fields like biotech or deep tech. And finally, there are C delays. Now, these are a bit rarer, but they're still really important. They cover those extraordinary situations where your application gets put on hold for reasons totally outside the normal back and forth. This could be something like a legal dispute over who invented it first or a lengthy appeal process. C delays make sure these unusual pauses don't unfairly penalize you. So how does this all add up? Well, the USPTO calculates all the time you gained from A, B, and C delays. But here's the catch. They get rid of any overlap. So if a single day of waiting qualifies as both an A delay and a B delay, you only get credit for that day once. You don't get to double dip. This is really key for setting realistic expectations about how much time you might actually get back. All right, now for what is arguably the most important part. The USPTO might give you this time, but they can also take it away. So understanding how to protect the extra days you've earned, that's where the real strategy comes in. Here's your playbook. The whole system really boils down to a simple trade-off. Delays caused by the patent office, they add days to your patent term. But, and this is a big but, any delays caused by you get subtracted from that total. Every single day you take longer than necessary to respond is a day that gets deducted from your hard-earned patent time. 3 months. Remember that. This is the magic number. Whenever you get a communication from the USPTO, you have 3 months to respond without any penalty. Now, filing for an extension might seem harmless, but every extension you take is considered an applicant delay, and it will absolutely chip away at your extra patent time. Your goal should always be to respond inside that 3-month window. This all builds into a pretty simple 4-step protection plan. First, track everything. I mean everything. Document every single communication and date. Second, respond quickly. You've got to hit that 3-month window to avoid those applicant delays. Third, and this is crucial, when your patent is finally granted, review the PTA calculation on it. Don't just assume it's correct. And fourth, if you find an error, challenge it. Filing for reconsideration can literally reclaim weeks or even months of valuable patent life. You see? This is why we call this time as a strategic asset. It's about turning what seems like a bureaucratic process into a real competitive advantage.
And you know who notices this? Savvy investors. When they're doing their due diligence, a patent with its full PTA credit sends a powerful signal. It screams operational control. It shows you're on top of the details, you plan ahead, and you know how to protect the value you're creating. And that, ultimately, makes your startup way more investable.
So here's the bottom line. Proactively managing your patent term sends a clear message. It shows you're not just a group of technologists with a cool idea. It proves you are savvy business builders creating durable, defensible assets that will hold their value for years and years to come.
So I'm going to leave you with this one final thought. Forget all the legal jargon and the timelines for just a minute and ask yourself this simple question. Based on your business plan, your revenue projections, and your market, what is just one extra year of total market exclusivity actually worth to you? Because that is the real value of mastering your patent's ticking clock.